Japan first started becoming a booming country when the Yayoi tribe brought over the rice plant from Korea. They also made use of China's traditional items like soy sauce and chopsticks. Up until the 1600s, Japan's primary diet was sea creatures, but the Dutch and Portuguese, searching the world for trading posts for exotic goods, stumbled upon the four islands of Japan, therefore bringing over the art of deep frying, which is where tempura originally is from, and why it seems so non-Japanese. Japan's shogun saw the influences that the foreigners had on the people of Japan, and foresaw that they might cause a great war in the near future. So Tokugawa Ieyasu closed Japan's borders to all foreign countries and trade. Throughout the next 200 years that Japan was closed off to the world, a great cultural development took hold of Japan. From this period of history, Japan defined its cultural tastes in colors of yellow, black, white, green, and red, for the tastes of sweet, spicy, salty, bitter, and sour, which derived from the two mainstream religions of the time, Shinto and Buddhism, as they focused on the passages of the seasons. Traditional Japanese dishes contain many items that come from the sea, and therefore Japanese diet has been relatively low in cholesterol, fat, calories, and fiber, making it one of the more healthy cuisines in the world. Much of Japan's food is traditionally prepared with soyu, or soy sauce, miso, which contains a mixture of soybeans, rice, and salt. Japanese meals are eaten 3 times a day and always contain rice, a bowl of soup, 2 or 3 side dishes, and green tea at the end of the meal, and possibly fruit. Rice has always been the staple for Japanese diet since its formation as a country. The Japanese hold rice in such high esteem that it was used for currency throughout the majority of the history of Japan. For instance, the measure of a feudal lord's wealth was in how much rice he had, not how much rare material he had acquired. The rice plant provided ideal to the Japanese because of how versatile it was. The husk could be made into rope or sandals, while the white rice could be used to make mochi, senbei, or miso. In Japan, before a meal is even eaten, the diner tastes the dish's flavors not with their mouths, but with their eyes. The Japanese believe that a dish should look as good or even better than it tastes. This same belief is practiced today in the ever-popular obento. Very much like the American lunchbox in theory, but is actually so much more to the Japanese. Obento is another way for the Japanese to express their artistic side. This dish is usually prepared for students of all ages by their mothers in a bento box. This stylized box comes in many different sizes and shapes. The object is still to make the food look as cute, colorful, and creative as much as possible. In Japan, there are even bento contests called karabento, where the object is to make appetizing bento boxes accompanied by famous anime and video game characters mixed into the dishes. There are some interesting differences in the culture between Japan and Western cultures. In Japan, it is considered customary to slurp one's noodles and to pick up the bowl to drink the broth afterward. It is in fact a common cultural shock for Westerners when they come to Japan and partake in an activity only to have the cook ask if they did not like the dish. Also, often Westerners dine in a Japanese household and find they cannot eat anymore. They say the common phrase, "Totemo oshikatta desu, gochizou-sama deshita." It was delicious, thank you for the food. The host will reply with, "Mada takusan arimasu kara, motto, douzo." There is still much to eat, please eat more. What Westerners don't understand is that it is customary for the host to offer multiple times to give the guests the opportunity to say no to the offer, as it is considered good manners for the guests to not decline the first offer. Though Japan's style of eating, the foods they eat, and where they get the food from might be different from the way that other people do things around the world, they still enjoy cultures and the foods from all over the world, making Japan a hotspot for cuisine and culture.